There are two major problems with the notion of diversity, equity, and inclusion, or DEI. The first is the inherent discrimination in the concept, the belief that all aspects of success are due to exploitation and discrimination. This means that when applied to groups, statistically underperforming groups are to be considered victimized, whether or not they are victims, and to be treated with special privileges. Those who are members of statistically overachieving groups, whether or not they are victimized, are to be treated as villains. The only possible exception to this hierarchy is white men, who are always to be treated as villains, whether their group is underperforming or overperforming in any given situation. This philosophy is how you get a holiday party for electeds of color thrown by Asian Boston Mayor Michelle Wu. Apparently, this electeds of color party has been a thing for a decade in Boston. Here was Wu defending it.
Members of the Boston City Council received an email invitation to what's called a gathering of electeds of color. Not all members of the council fit that description.
I think we've had individual conversations with everyone so people understand that it was truly just an honest mistake that went out in typing the email field, and I look forward to celebrating with everyone at the holiday parties that we will have besides this one as well. So it is my intention that we can, again, be a city that lives our values and create space for all kinds of communities to come together.
Living your values requires segregated parties. This is obviously discriminatory and wrong. If there were a white electeds-only party, of course, that would be violative of federal discrimination law. But DEI insists that you cannot be wrong so long as you're a member of the victimhood hierarchy. So that's the first problem with DEI. It's racist. Then there is the second problem, not disconnected with the first: mediocrity. If success is to be treated as sinful and failure as virtuous, because victimhood is virtue, then mediocrity is the happy middle, where you can avoid being completely terrible at things, but also escape censure for being actually good at them. So it is in academia, where racially diverse mediocrity is preferable to non-race-based meritocratic achievement. See, for example, Harvard, where President Claudine Gay, despite apparently being both a serial plagiarist and a soft-on anti-Semitism leader, is still in her job. Or see Chicago, where Mayor Brandon Johnson, the even worse successor to Lori Lightfoot, announced his plans this week to kill Chicago's high-achieving selective enrollment schools, since they weren't racially diverse enough. Chicago Public Schools CEO Pedro Martinez has put forth a resolution seeking, quote, a transition away from privatization and admissions enrollment policies and approaches that further stratification and inequity in CPS and drive student enrollment away from neighborhood schools. Better that high-achieving students be trapped in the crappy local school than they be able to go to a better school. Mediocrity for everyone. And so it is at the White House, too, where equity prevails above all. I've been talking about my Helix sleep mattress for years. You know all about this. I've had my Helix for years and years and years at this point. It's great. It was made just for me. I took that Helix sleep quiz, and I got the mattress that was perfect for my body type and sleep preferences, and you can do the same. I got the firm but breathable mattress, which is what I need. What kind of mattress will be great for you? You can find out. Helix Elite is their newest, most high-end collection. It harnesses years of extensive mattress expertise to offer a truly elevated sleep experience. The Helix Elite collection includes 6 different mattress models, each tailored for specific sleep positions and firmness preferences. Go to helixsleep.com/Ben and check out the new collection today. If you're nervous about buying a mattress online, you don't have to be. Helix has a sleep quiz that matches your body type and sleep preferences to the perfect mattress. Because why would you buy a mattress made for someone else? I took that Helix quiz. I was matched with a firm but breathable mattress, as I say. Go to helixsleep.com/Ben. Take that 2-minute sleep quiz yourself. Your mattress will come directly to your door, shipped for free. Plus, Helix has a 10-year warranty. You can try it out for 100 nights, risk-free. They'll even pick it up for you if you don't love it, but of course you will. Helix is offering 20% off all mattress orders and 2 free pillows for my listeners. It's a great deal. Go to helixsleep.com/Ben. It's their best offer yet. It's not going to last long. With Helix, better sleep starts right now. The holidays are hard enough. Make things easier than ever with Stamps.com. Stamps.com has been helping businesses like yours save time and money during the holiday rush for 25 years, with easy access to USPS and UPS services and premium rates for all your postage needs. Stamps.com lets you print your own postage and shipping labels directly from your home or office space. It's incredibly convenient. Your shipping labels are ready to go in minutes, so you can get back to running your business sooner. We don't waste our time here at the Daily Wire. We don't have the time or the money to do that sort of stuff, so we've used Stamps.com instead since 2017. Our office management staff loves Stamps.com because they don't have to spend hours at the post office anymore. Stamps.com offers rates you can't find anywhere else, like up to 84% off USPS and UPS. Plus, they'll automatically tell you your cheapest and fastest shipping options. For 25 years, Stamps.com has been indispensable to over 1 million businesses. You can print postage wherever you do business. No lines, no traffic, no waiting. Set your business up for success. Get started with Stamps.com today. Sign up with promo code Shapiro for a special offer that includes a 4-week trial plus free postage and free digital scale. No long-term commitments, no contracts. Just go to Stamps.com, click that microphone at the top of the homepage, and enter promo code Shapiro. The polls are showing that Joe Biden continues to trail in every single battleground. According to Mediaite, a new round of polling in 7 key swing states bodes poorly for President Biden, indicating he trails Donald Trump in every single one. In Wisconsin, he is down 4 to Trump 45-41. In Georgia, he's down 6. In Michigan, he's down 4. In Pennsylvania, he's down 2. In Nevada, he's down 3. In North Carolina, he is down 9. These are terrible numbers for Joe Biden. In Arizona, he is down 4. Very, very bad numbers for Joe Biden because, again, all of the focus right now is on Joe Biden. Now, the Biden administration is hoping that the Federal Reserve is going to save Joe Biden, that by bringing down the inflation rate, they're going to be able to basically bring down the interest rates several times next year, loosening up the economy and leading to a feeling of prosperity in the United States. Karine Jean-Pierre, she was out yesterday saying that Bidenomics is working because the stock market is at record highs.
Look, as it relates to Bidenomics, the president, I just announced at the top of the briefing, he's going to go to Milwaukee. He's going to talk about Bidenomics, investing in America, what Bidenomics has done for the American people coming out of the pandemic. We can't forget what happened when the president walked in. We saw literally the economy at a tailspin. And the data shows, as you just mentioned in your question, inflation is moderating. And, you see jobs created at more than 14 million jobs. Unemployment is at under 4%. All of those things is part of Bidenomics, and you will certainly hear the president talk more about that.
Okay, well, the president can talk about it however much he wants. The bottom line is that consumers right now are still spending because, again, they have that inflated money in their pocket, and they realize that the inflation is cooked into the books. It takes a little while for people to realize that inflation has actually moderated, especially when inflation is still running at 3+%, as opposed to 2%, which was the Fed's target rate. The real problem here is that when you look at things like the stock market, corporate earnings are not actually keeping up with the stock market. Right now, people are invested in the stock market at very high rates because the currency is inflated. When the currency is inflated, you stop investing in bonds and you start investing in stocks. Well, now it appears that the bond prices are going up because we're not going to be raising interest rates anytime in the near future. So bond prices are going up. This has also created a feeling of economic health in the stock market, people pouring money into the stock market. The problem is that in the stock market, the PE ratios are really, really high. Those would be the price equity ratio, the price earnings ratios. Those price earnings ratios are really, really high. So Benjamin Graham, the famed investor, who is sort of the intellectual godfather of Warren Buffett, he sought price earnings ratios around 15 times. That the price of the company should be a multiple of its earnings by about 15, but no higher than that. Well, right now, the so-called Magnificent Seven, which are the companies that are basically driving all of the growth in the stock market, or a huge percentage of the growth in the stock market. These would be companies like NVIDIA, Apple, Amazon, Alphabet, Meta, Microsoft, Tesla. Those companies are up around 70% year to date. If you took them out of the S&P 500, the index would be up around 6%, as opposed to the eye-popping gains that you are seeing in the broader stock market indices. The S&P 500 is up more than 21% so far this year. If you took out those 7 companies, it's up 6%. And the PE ratios on those companies is 50. That's not sustainable in the long run. PE ratios of 50, that is betting very heavily those companies are going to be able to ramp up their earnings, obviously. If they're not able to ramp up those earnings, then the pricing mechanism is way out of whack. So the suggestion would be, theoretically, that when the inflation stops, that the stock market will continue, it'll hold stable. The money will be worth more. People will essentially hold stable their stocks. They're not going to divest because why would you take your money out of a stock market that's done pretty well? But stocks are overpriced. This is the reason why Warren Buffett is selling stocks right now. And again, inflation has not totally been conquered, but the real problem here is going to be economic stagnation. I've been talking about gross output as a statistic for quite a while here. Gross output doesn't just measure spending at the last layer of the economy, which includes an enormous amount of government spending. It includes business startup investment. And that's down. The first couple quarters of 2023, it's been down 9%. Gross output. We haven't seen a Q3 stat yet on that. I can't imagine it's going to be very strong. Business starts. I mean, if you're in business, you feel it also right now. If you're in business, this is not a boom time. Nobody really thinks this is a boom time outside of a few core companies. Meanwhile, as Joe Biden continues to fade in the polls, The really bad news for the Biden administration is that Kamala Harris is still the backup. Here she was spewing word salad yesterday.
We all watched the television coverage of just yesterday. That's on top of everything else that we know and don't know yet, based on what we've just been able to see. And because we've seen it or not doesn't mean it hasn't happened. But just limited to what we have seen.
I don't even know what that means. Does she speak English? I do not know. So, but the president doesn't speak English because he's no longer functional. The vice president doesn't speak English because was she ever? I don't even know. I don't even know what's going on with Kamala Harris. Oh boy. Are you tired of the lies and the twists of the mainstream media talking points? Yeah, me too. Join me in my newest series, Fact, where I dismantle and bring truth to this tiring mainstream agenda.